Five Nights at Freddy's Movie 3 might not be what you're expecting. Will there even be a fourth movie? What does the ending of the second film really mean? Hello, Internet. I'm Dr. Trick. Today we're going to break down what may be waiting for us in the third Five Nights at Freddy's movie and what the ending of the second film is actually hinting at. But before we begin, do not watch this video if you haven't seen the second movie yet. This video contains spoilers, so go watch the movie first and then come back here. You've been warned. So now, let's get into it. Five Nights at Freddy's Movie 2 is finally out, and once again, it wasn't exactly what fans were expecting. But here's the thing, that doesn't mean the movie is bad. Quite the opposite. Blumhouse clearly listened to the criticism of the first film and made the sequel darker, scarier, and much more fan service heavy. And honestly, this problem isn't exclusive to FNAF. It's an issue with video game adaptations in general. Most game movies exist for nostalgia. We played these games years ago, they became part of us, and now we want to see the same characters, the same locations, and the same villains on the big screen. But here's the problem. Gameplay and cinema are two completely different things. You can't just take a playthrough of a game and turn it into a movie. Films need a story, a narrative that works not only for longtime fans but also for new audiences who may have never touched the games before. And that means studios have to create a brand new story based loosely on gameplay and fragmented lore. And when it comes to Five Nights at Freddy's, that's incredibly difficult. FNAF has a massive lore, but it's built on mysteries, Easter eggs, hidden details, and fan theories. The games don't have a clear, linear storyline. Fans basically assembled it over years of analysis. And somehow, Blumhouse managed to find a balance between newcomers and longtime fans. There's a new story, but it constantly intersects with the game lore. However, the first movie had one major problem, and I know many fans will agree with me. It didn't really feel like FNAF. Mike and Abby's story was interesting, but where was the danger? Where were the doors that saved us in the first game? Where was that feeling of being trapped in a security office, just trying to survive the night? And then movie 2 happened. Everything changed. We finally got a real push toward the game lore. More Easter eggs, more tension, more fear. The animatronics now feel like heavy, unstoppable killing machines. And the moments inspired by FNAF 2 gameplay, that's exactly what fans wanted. And let's be honest, the scene where Damn Spring Bonnie lures a child to do his hobby, that gave me actual chills in the theater. Matthew Lillard is absolutely incredible in this role, but even with all of that, there's one thing that really bothered me, and I think it bothered a lot of fans as well: the ending. And when you actually look at the movie endings more closely, it becomes clear that this isn't just a coincidence. The ending of the first film directly mirrors the finale of the Charlie trilogy, specifically the book The Silver Eyes. In the movie, William Afton puts on the Spring Bonnie suit, the spring locks fail, the animatronics drag him away, and the pizzeria collapses. That is literally the ending of The Silver Eyes. And what about the second movie? The main characters are attacked by the toy animatronics, and at the very last moment, the original animatronics from the first film come in to save them. Two sides of animatronics, two different roles. And that is exactly how The Twisted Ones ends in the Charlie trilogy. So yes, it really looks like the movies are partially based on the books after all. So let's lock in exactly where the second movie left us. Michael Afton escapes. Mike and Abby are alive. Mike has a falling out with Vanessa, and the puppet possesses her. Meanwhile, William Afton, or rather what's left of him as Springtrap, is discovered by workers and prepared for transport to Fazbear Frights, the horror attraction. And after post-credits, Henry Emily leaves Mike a message warning him that the puppet is coming for him, and that he's in danger. Then the message cuts off. This is a clear hint at a third film. But not everything is so rosy. Now comes the conclusion. When you look at this ending and connect it with everything we've discussed so far, it becomes pretty clear that the third movie will most likely be based on the final book of the Charlie trilogy, The Fourth Closet. And this is where I start to feel conflicted. Not because the book is bad, but the problem is this. It means that FNAF Movie 3 won't really be FNAF 3, it won't be the story fans have been waiting for, it won't truly adapt the game, and I don't love that idea. But I could be wrong. There's still a chance the creators might give fans exactly what they want, and that's why I have two theories. One that's highly likely, and one that's far less likely but far more exciting. Let's start with the first theory. The most logical one, the most obvious one, and unfortunately, the most predictable one. If the current pattern holds, the third movie will almost completely follow the story of the fourth closet. My assumption, based on the book and the ending of the second film, is this. The puppet will become one of the main antagonists, acting through Vanessa's body. She won't kill out of cruelty, but for a purpose. To collect remnant. William Afton is no longer just a man in a broken suit. In Fazbear Frights, he exists only because remnant sustains his consciousness. And it is the puppet who supplies him with that remnant to keep him alive, much like Baby did in the fourth closet when she gathered remnant for William. It's possible that the puppet will also begin hunting Mike, while Mike tries to save Vanessa, with Henry Emily's message acting as the catalyst for his actions. In the finale, Mike enters Fazbear Frights. Vanessa realizes what she has been turned into and sacrifices herself to destroy the puppet, just as Charlie sacrifices herself in the book. And afterward, the animatronics melt themselves down and fuse into a single entity, which is then used to finally destroy Springtrap, directly mirroring the ending of The Fourth Closet. The circle closes. The film trilogy ends the same way the Charlie trilogy did, and that's why I believe the third movie will most likely be based on the book. It's a complete, ready-made story. Simple, with no unnecessary twists. But it also means that the story won't move forward into future events. And honestly, it makes me really sad to think that FNAF Movie 3 might end up like this, or at least end this way. Of course, these are just theories. But let's try to think differently for a moment. What if Blumhouse decides to follow the games instead of the books? What if the events of the third movie directly intersect with FNAF 3? And this is where my second theory comes in. It's unlikely, but it's the one fans actually want. In this version, the storyline with the puppet and Vanessa is resolved in the first half of the movie. Mike manages to save Vanessa, and the puppet is either destroyed or disappears after completing its mission. After that, the focus of the story shifts completely. The main character becomes Michael Afton. He is haunted by the past, by guilt, by everything his father has done. He learns where Springtrap is and deliberately takes a job as a night guard at Fazbear Frights. And this is where the movie finally becomes true FNAF 3. The nights, the silence, the constant feeling of danger, the hallucinations. The phantom animatronics don't try to kill Michael directly. Instead, they break him down psychologically, reflecting his fears, memories, and guilt. And at the center of it all is Springtrap. Not just a monster, but a living reminder that the past can't be ignored. In the finale, Michael realizes that the only way to end everything is to destroy the place along with what's hiding inside it. He starts a fire. Fazbear Frights burns down. Springtrap disappears in the flames. But the final shot leaves us with a question. Is it really over? This becomes a clear setup for a fourth movie, where the story would follow the events of FNAF 6, Pizzeria Simulator. This would be a true FNAF 3 movie. And that's exactly why, unfortunately, it feels like the least likely option. But why did I choose Michael Afton as the main character and shift the focus to him? First, he already appeared in the second movie. And second, it would be a strong narrative move that would instantly draw even more attention to the film. And why FNAF 6 as the next step instead of FNAF 4 or sister location? Because it's simply not necessary. Those games work more as behind-the-scenes stories rather than a clean, linear film narrative. And in the case of sister location, there are scenes that simply wouldn't fit a PG-13 rating. For example, the ending itself, when Enard literally climbs into Michael's body. And that would have created even more confusion in the plot. FNAF 6, on the other hand, could logically, powerfully, and definitively end the entire story. So that brings us to one final question. What could happen in a fourth movie? It could directly follow the events of the game. Unlike many other entries, FNAF 6 has a clear and complete story. Henry opens a new pizzeria. He buys furniture. He installs equipment. He creates and acquires animatronics, all with a single goal in mind: to trap every creation of William Afton, including William himself. Characters like Baby could be excluded, since sister location was never adapted. Henry's plan is simple but brutal. Gather them all in one place. End it. Then Michael arrives, taking the job as the night guard. Maybe he learns that his father survived the fire. Maybe he realizes that he is in this pizzeria. The film could include smaller moments from the game, repairing animatronics, testing equipment, and the movie could end the same way the game does. Calm, heavy, unforgettable. Henry's final message plays. The doors close. The fire starts. Or if the filmmakers want to soften the ending just a little, Michael could survive, escaping at the last moment. Either way, it would be a powerful and definitive conclusion. A story with a clear ending. The story of the man in the rabbit suit finally ends. For good. And that's it. Those are my theories and my breakdown of what the future of the Five Nights at Freddy's movies could look like. I'd really love to hear your thoughts. What do you think will happen in the next film? Or films? Let me know your ideas in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. My name is Dr. Trick, and I'll see you next time.